Hi everyone, welcome to Learning Math with VK. Today we explore lesson 4 in algebra, linear equation and linear function. First, we begin with equation. An equation is a statement that equates two expressions. Sometimes it has a solution, all the time it doesn't. So here comes an example. What solution? X plus 1 equal 2. And here comes an example. What our solution? X plus 1 is equal to x minus 1. That is an equation, but it has no solution. There are a few properties of equation, very important, that we need to use to derive a linear equation. Let A and B be expressions, and N be a non-zero number or expression. Then A equal B is the same as or equivalent to A plus N equal B plus N. Similarly, we can subtract N on both sides. We can also multiply by N on both sides. And of course, we can divide by N on both sides. Here come a few small examples. Example, x plus 1 equal 2. We can subtract 1. And you see that plus 1 minus 1 is 0. So we have x equal to 1. Another example is negative 2x equal 4. Here we can divide negative 2 on both sides. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. 1 times x is x. So x equal to negative 2. 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. Pretty cool, huh? Let's move on to linear equation. A linear equation is an equation of a straight line because linear means straight. Now let's take a look at how we derive a linear equation. To get a straight line, we plot 2 points. First point x1, y1, it has the coordinate x1, y1. Second point, x2, y2. The x coordinate is x2, y coordinate y2. Now, let's take a look at the ruler here. We can get a straight line between the 2 points. To get the equation of a straight line, first, we got to know how we get from one point to another. So to get from x1, y1 to x2, y2, we got to rise. And then we run. Rise over run, define the slope of an equation. Slope is rise over run. And slope measure the steepness of the line. Slope is commonly written as m. Rise is the change in y. y2 minus y1. Run is the change in x, x2 minus x1. Now we let the point x2, y2 be an arbitrary point. X, y. So the slope is y minus y1 over x minus x1. We can multiply both sides by x minus x1. And you see that we have m times x minus x1 is y minus y1. This is a linear equation. It has two forms, a point slope form and a general form. Let's take a look at those two forms through an example. Find a linear equation through -1, 2 and -2, 5. We can plot them up. -1 and 2 is right here. -2 and 5 is right here. Get a ruler. Get a straight line between the 2 points. Now it does look straight. Yay! Look pretty nice. In order to figure out the equation of a straight line according to the definition and how we derive a linear equation, we've got to figure out the slope and then use the linear equation formula. Slope m equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. First point is usually written as x1 y1. Second point x2 y2. y2 is 5, y1 is 2, x2 is -2, x1 is -1. Three over -1, minus is the plus, -2 plus 1 is -1, 3 divided by -1 is -3. Next, y minus y1 is m, x minus x1. Do the substitution. Y minus 2 is -3, x minus -1. Y minus 2 is -3, x plus 1. Now we can distribute -3. And we have -3x minus 3. On this side, we have y minus 2. Add 2 on both sides. And we have y equal -3x minus 1. Let us call it the point slope form. Generally known as y equal mx plus b. Notice that -3 here is the slope, and -1 is, if you look at the graph, you will see that the graph intersects the y-axis at -1. So we call -1 the y-intercept. Yeah. Meaning that B right here is y-intercept. we can add 3x on both sides of the point slope form. And we get 3x plus y equal -1. When a linear equation is written in this form, we call it the general form. And it is usually written as ax plus by equals c. Pretty cool. The point slope form is very useful in calculus. The general form very useful in finite math. That is when you study the application in business, economy, and finance. Now we can move on to linear function. A linear equation is we can write y equals something here. And if you look at the two form, it has to be the point slope form. So y equal to mx plus b. To get a linear function, we just have to replace y by fx. And this is a linear function. X is the input. Well, we can put any real number in here. Thus, the domain is -∞ to infinity, or real number. Mx plus b is the output. Slope is a real number. X is a real number. B is also a real number. So any linear combination of them result in a real number. And thus, the range here is the same, -∞ to infinity. Range is the set of all real numbers. There is a way to get the domain and the range. That is by graphing the linear function. Let's do a graph here. Fx is mx plus b. We can get the domain by pushing the graph onto the x-axis. Push or project graph onto x-axis. If we project it onto the x-axis, you see that the graph cover the entire x-axis. So all the number on the x-axis are in the domain of the function, and thus the domain is -∞ to infinity. Similarly, to figure the range, we push graph onto the y-axis. And if we push it onto the y-axis, notice that the graph cover all the number on the y-axis. So that is why the range is also -∞ to infinity. Thank you for watching. I hope you find the content useful. Please like and subscribe to help the channel grow. See you in the next video.